Made myself an extra large one today because, honey, we're gonna need it. Hey babes, what's up? It's Haley and welcome back to my channel. Like I said, you guys, a big cup of coffee to start off our day because we are pretty much gonna be doing a huge cooking extravaganza today. For the first time, literally ever since we moved here, I'm gonna be hosting a dinner party of important people, and that is my in-laws and my siblings and basically a bunch of people today that I am really hoping to impress because I have not yet hosted them before. If you guys are new here, then welcome. My husband and I are actually Jewish, and something that we do every single week on Friday night is have Friday night dinner. It's like a very, very special dinner where we kind of all get together, spend quality time together, and it continues on to having lunch on Saturday the next day. So Friday night to Saturday night, we always dedicate to have Shabbat dinner and lunch at one person's house. It's usually at Egan's parents' house back in Miami Beach, but today I actually invited them here to our new place here in Fort Lauderdale because now that we're in this house, we finally have space to host people. We've always wanted to host, and one of the goals of getting this house is so that we'd be able to open our house to more guests. So that being said, it's actually so crazy to say that I've never hosted Shabbat dinner here for Egan's parents. So in today's video, I'm gonna take you guys through every single thing I'm gonna be cooking and putting on the table today. It's gonna be really fun because you guys really do like my cooking segment. So hopefully it will give you guys some inspiration on what you can cook if you're hosting your own dinner party, or even if it's just something to make for your own family. But something I will say, Egan and I are Bukharian, and our culture is all surrounded by food. Food is a huge thing. So I'm definitely gonna be cooking a lot, like an overwhelming amount, because we also like to have leftovers for the week. So keep that in mind. In Bukharian culture, we like a lot of variety, and quantity is a very important thing. Here are some things on the menu today that I'm taking you guys through. But we got a ton of salads I'm gonna show you guys today. Also got Caesar salad, noodle salad, imitation crab salad. There's like a lot, okay? And I'm gonna try my best to navigate it all, and doing it with my little newborn. So without further ado, guys, let me caffeinate myself up before we get into this whole cooking extravaganza. Okay, I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that Naomi is snoozing right now. We're gonna get started on the first main course. So I decided to make two types of chicken, one for Friday night and then one for Saturday morning or lunch. And for lunchtime, I wanna make chicken schnitzel. I think I may have shown this before. I'm gonna quickly show you all the steps of everything I'm doing, and then the actual recipes will be listed down below in case you wanna reference it back for when you wanna make it yourself. All right, I think this is a pretty good angle that you can see me and the food. We have some chicken breasts here that are already cut up into schnitzel style. You could also just buy regular chicken breast, and then I usually like to slice it 3 ways. And then for the coating, we're gonna have a wet coating and a dry coating. All right, for the dry coating, I'm just gonna be mixing in some regular breadcrumbs together with some cornflake crumbs. I like to keep the breadcrumbs simple because all of the seasoning is gonna be in the wet coating. Cornflakes, breadcrumbs, and then for schnitzel, you gotta add a good amount of sesame seeds in there because that's what makes it look like schnitzel once it's fried. So the base of that is gonna be eggs. I'm gonna do 5 eggs for this amount. Into that, I'm adding some salt, smoked paprika, a good amount of garlic powder, some Dijon mustard. I kind of eyeball all my stuff, but if you guys want exact measurements, I'll list them below. And then, because we keep kosher, we actually can't mix meat and dairy. And because most people like to do a buttermilk base when it comes to fried chicken, I had to come up with an alternative. So to still get that buttermilk consistency, I'm gonna be adding in about half a cup of flour into this egg mixture. You're gonna see as you're mixing it, it is gonna get thicker. So this is the point where I add my milk, and I actually like to use regular almond milk. That's pretty much it. Let's get to frying. So I personally don't mind frying this, but you could actually go ahead and do the same exact steps and then pop it in an air fryer or bake it in the oven at 400 degrees and it would still come out super yummy. Little tip, if you are someone who's planning on frying this, I actually don't do like a deep fry method. I prefer to use like a thinner pan, and I do a thinner layer of oil, just enough to coat like halfway of the thickness of the schnitzel, and I feel like the chicken absorbs less oil that way rather than deep frying. You're gonna grab your piece of chicken, dredge it in the wet coating, and then into the dry. But these look so stunning. I mean, you guys, just look at that. Listen to this. So crisp. All right, y'all. If you're gonna be a chef in your kitchen, you gotta test your own product. So I'm going to grab the smallest, ittiest little piece of schnitzel. This one was one of the last, so it's a little bit more well done, but let's try. So crispy. That's the problem. I eat everything I make while I make it, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. Comment down below if you're one of the people who don't eat while you cook and you eat later, or you have to sample everything as you make it, because that is so me. Before I get back into the cooking, some of you may be wondering, Haley, what is your husband doing during this meal? He is in charge of 2 things. He basically cleans up, he sets the table, and he's in charge of dessert.
And I get all the groceries.
And groceries too. That's kind of like how we split up the work, right?
Yeah.
All right, y'all, things are happening. Let's move on to main course number 2. I'm gonna be making some chicken cordon quarters in a nice garlicky tomato sauce. Super simple recipe. Let's get started. So for the chicken quarters, something that I learned from my mother-in-law is that in order for you to get that crispy skin, before you actually go ahead and add the sauce, you want to broil the chicken on its own. So I'm just lightly lining my pan with a bit of oil. We'll add in our chicken. For this first step, all we're going to be doing is seasoning this with a little bit of salt and pepper. Turn on your oven to a high broil.
Alright, so getting started on the sauce, you guys are going to notice I have all these little sticky notes popping up with all the recipes. Feel free to screenshot them so you can save this for the future. But for the sauce, what I love about it is that it's using all fresh ingredients. We're just going to blend together 3 tomatoes with 1 red pepper, 1 garlic clove. And then to season the sauce, we're going to add some salt and pepper along with some paprika, turmeric, chicken flavor, and then a little bit of extra tomato sauce.
So for the chicken quarters, Naomi's awake, you may hear her in and out. I want to do some potatoes to go with the chicken. I'm going to wash them up and cut them in half, and we're going to throw it in with the sauce and the chicken.
Naomi, you excited for dinner? You excited for dinner? She wants to eat. Look at that, our chicken has some beautiful skin.
It's so beautiful.
So now that our skin is all crisped up, we can now combine everything together. I'm going to put all the potatoes facing down and spill the sauce right on top. Because we already broiled the chicken, now we just want to have it cook through. So I'm going to cover it with some aluminum foil super tight and put that in the oven at 350 degrees for at least an hour and a half.
So I'm going to show you guys the table situation. Instead of just doing one really long rectangle, we just combine 2 tables to do one big square. That way we can kind of have people sitting on all sides. You're all sitting super close, and we're going to have a lot of space for the actual food. All right, moving on. You guys will have to hear my daughter's swing music. She's currently taking a little nap. That's actually another responsibility of Eran's while I cook. He keeps Naomi entertained between me feeding her. But the next thing that we're actually going to be making is a cholent. And basically what it is, it's a type of chili that you kind of cook from Friday night, and you actually have it the next day for lunch on Saturday. So I'm actually going to be making this in a slow cooker, and it's honestly the easiest meal because you could just throw everything in, let it cook, and it's going to be ready the next day. Something that I personally love is kitchen gadgets, and I know a lot of people say that this takes up a lot of room, but I dedicate one drawer in my kitchen to where I throw my food processors, my choppers, all these things, but it really cuts down the cooking time in half, and you guys will see exactly why. So let's get started. So this over here is a dicer or a slicer, depending what you want to use it for. It has a bunch of different inserts. I'm going to be using the smallest square one, and I'm basically going to use it to help me dice up my onion and everything that I don't like dicing because I cry or it just takes too long. All right, put down the onion. You guys ready for this? There it is. The beans that I'm actually going to be using for this meal is cholent. It's basically a combination of white beans and kidney beans, a bunch of different ones. I'm going to rinse that up. So the plan for this is that we are actually going to cook it on high for 4 hours, and then after I'm going to switch it on low for 10 hours once those 4 hours are up. And then finally it's going to end up just staying on warm until you turn it off. But that's the great thing about slow cookers. It's literally a set it and forget it kind of situation. If you're looking for a quick dinner idea, you could always throw something like this on in the morning, and by the evening time it'll be ready. You can also make this into a legit chili by putting in ground beef, but I wanted to keep it vegetarian because we do have some other meat courses coming. So moving on to the salads, we are going to start off by making one of my favorite, I guess you could say, appetizer salad, and it is my cellophane noodles. These are absolutely my favorite. I've shown this recipe before, but again, if you missed it, I'm gonna run through it super quick. But basically, these are noodles made from mung bean starch. You cook them in a bowl with some hot water, and they actually don't overcook. And my daughter just came home. Hi, Aaliyah. Hello, my princess. Say hi, everybody. You want noodles?
I love Shabbat.
You love Shabbat? Yeah.
Okay, let's run through my favorite noodle recipe. I'm gonna make 3 packs of these. I'm gonna put them in hot boiling water, and I make sure to add salt because it actually gives these noodles a lot more flavor too. So you can put less garlic if you prefer, but 3 cloves of garlic, sugar, a tablespoon of coriander, some vinegar, soy sauce, sesame oil, and vegetable oil too. And then for that added spice, I like to put in some sriracha or chili flakes. Once you get your noodles drained and cooled down, you can mix in together the sauce, and guys, this tastes incredible.
Honestly, guys, this noodle salad is like my absolute favorite. It's so addicting. And right before we serve it, I top it off with like some sesame seeds on top, and it looks amazing. All right. Moving on, let's make coleslaw salad. This is the kind of salad that you basically put on like mini little sliders. Super easy, 4 ingredients: cabbage, salt, garlic, and mayo. And then basically, once all these salads are ready, I just put them in some Tupperware until we're ready to put them on the table. As you guys will notice, the closer and closer we get to Shabbat, the noisier it gets because Aaliyah's home, Naomi's on the swing. But moving on to the next salad, it's gonna be very like sushi inspired. And this is one of my favorite salads to make, and it's actually imitation crab salad. So yesterday I went ahead and I shredded up some imitation crab. This is what it looks like if you guys don't know. We get it in the frozen section at the supermarket. Because we keep kosher, we actually are not allowed to eat shellfish. So we get the imitation crab. I have no idea if it tastes like the real thing. Never tried it. To be honest, don't really have a desire to try it either. But they kind of come in little strips like this. But what I do to shred these up is I kind of like run it through my hands like this. And then you get kind of like this noodle consistency by doing that.
So I'm gonna use this technique to shred up the rest of the crab. You can honestly eat this kani salad as is, but I love to add vegetables. And the best presentation of this is just cutting your vegetables super thin and long sliced. So in goes my red bell pepper. I'm gonna thinly slice my cucumber as well. And then the third ingredient that I absolutely love is taking some edamame. I cook that in some salted hot water, and once it's ready, I use it to top off the salad. But because this is like spicy mayo inspired, into this I'm adding some mayo, soy sauce, sesame oil, and then for spice, sriracha or chili flakes.
The next salad type food that we're making is an eggplant salad slash appetizer. Basically all it is fried eggplant rounds, but you could also bake it if you prefer. I just like the taste of the fried more. So we kind of make little circles with these, we fry them up, and then there's a really good sauce that his mom makes with a ketchup base. It's delicious. And there's a lot of garlic in it because everyone in our family just loves garlic, right, Ahan? The more garlic and salads and stuff, the better.
So my mother-in-law taught me the absolute best hack if you want to go ahead and fry eggplant. As you guys know, eggplant just tends to absorb oil so much. So the way around that is that you actually want to soak it in some cold water and vinegar. The vinegar does something to the eggplant so that when you go ahead and fry it, it doesn't absorb as much oil as it usually does, which allows it to cook much faster and get much crispier.
Listen, you guys, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like the food that we make is healthy. It's not healthy. Especially Bukharian food, we love a lot of rice dishes, a lot of fried stuff, a lot of dough. But honestly, it's part of it. We look at Shabbat meals as calories that don't count. Obviously, everything in moderation. That's why I like to make some salads, but I mean, even our salads have a ton of mayo, and I'm very aware. But hey, no shame in eating. At least all this food is homemade, and we truly wait for a lot of this during the whole week. All right, so my chicken cooked for about an hour and a half, I want to say. But let's see what it's looking like. Whoa, that is stunning. Oh, that smells so good. You already know I gotta do a taste test. I won't taste test the chicken because I want every piece to be intact. But let me try one of the potatoes. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. That is deliciously good, you guys. And right before I serve, I'm gonna sprinkle on some parsley and give this all a good mix. I do have to say, it will kind of suck that you guys won't see us actually eating it and trying it all, because if you guys don't know the way it works on Shabbat, you actually can't use technology from Friday night to Saturday night. It's a religious thing. It's something that we follow. We've talked about it so many times in our previous vlogs. It's one of the best things ever. It's the best time to connect. You have no social media, no phone, no distractions at all, just each other. It's kind of like a holiday every single week, and I do have to say this holiday enters at sundown. Looks like the sun is slowly starting to set soon, so I'm gonna try to finish up every single thing that I can show you guys, and if we get a chance to show it to you on the table, then great. All right, you guys, so I do still have a few more salads to make, but we can't forget about dessert. If there's anything I'll teach you about me, I absolutely love cooking, but baking, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that I have to do all these measurements and stuff to a T. It is so not me. Let me know down below if you're watching this, if you're a cooking or a baking person. Are you both? Are you neither? Because the only thing, and I've said this before in my vlogs, that I can make is brownies from Brownie Mix. The Duncan Hines dark chocolate fudge is also incredible because it's not dairy, so we can have it right after a meat meal. And I mean, it's also foolproof. If you're someone who tends to kind of destroy and ruin every dessert you make, there's no way you can mess this up.
So like I said, you guys, this is baking for dummies. 3 ingredients, just an egg, water, and oil. That's pretty much it. You want to mix it all together, but the trick is to get the right pan. I feel like with these brownies, the thinner you're able to get the brownie mix, the better, because it ends up coming out a bit chewier rather than undercooked. So I'm putting this into a 9 by 13 inch pan, and I'm going to bake that in the oven at 350 for exactly 23 minutes.
Clock is counting down. Evan's already changed. He's doing like the final cleanup of vacuuming, and our kitchen still a disaster, but we're working working on it. We got the schnitzel here, we got the eggplant, we got the cholent. This is what the cholent is looking like. It is still cooking. The beans still need a couple of hours before they're ready. And something that I wanted to explain to you guys before Shabbat actually comes in, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, if you guys can't use technology from Friday night to Saturday night, how do we warm up our food? The rules are like kind of complicated. You can't really do anything yourself, but if there's things like on timer and such that will make things turn on, that's fine. So we have lights in the house that are timed. And to warm up our food, we actually use hot plates. These are called platas. So these, we have them all on smart switches, so then they turn on right before dinner and they turn off overnight and then turn on again before lunch. And then we also have an urn to keep our water hot, because you know Haley always needs her coffee in the morning and tea at night. But that's kind of like how we make it work. It's not like we can't do anything. Again, I'm like kind of bummed that I can't really show you guys everything when it's fully done. All right, you guys, we are literally on time crunch. It's almost candle lighting, so we gotta go and we gotta set everything up. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know it seems like it's not fully complete, but if you guys stick around to my vlogs, I'll definitely be making these recipes again. Be sure to subscribe down below to join the Hey family. Comment down below cooking extravaganza if you are watching up to this point. You're the real MVPs. We love the ones that stay all the way till the end. We're literally hustling and bustling right now, but I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Let me know down below which of these recipes pulled you and which one you want to try for yourself. We love you guys so much, and we can't wait to see you in our next one.